Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Myself Zanad. I am the English teacher of class 3. Hope you are all good and stay at home. Now it's time to start working. The first lecture is from your Oxford Progressive English book. Open the book and come to the first unit. Meet the family. Meet means milna. Okay, unit 1, lesson number 1. Listen and speak. Read the story and answer the question. Where are Mr. and Mrs. Bucky going next weekend? Okay, first we read the story and then we give the answer of this question. It's supper time on the Burki's house in Karachi. Mr. Burki is an engineer and Mrs. Burki is an artist. Artist means fankar. Saira, are you going to take us to the seaside next weekend? Saira asked the question from Mr. Burki. Mr. Burki said, no, I can't. I'm going to Nepal. I'm going to build a bridge in the Himalayas there, okay? He said he go to Nepal and build a bridge. Saira, are you going alone? Saira asked that he is going alone. Alone means akela. Mr. Barkino, I'm going with a colleague from a work. Colleague means साथ काम करने वाला. Okay. Mrs. Barki, the three of you are going to stay with grandma and grandpa for 2 nights. Imran, why? What are you going to do? Mrs. Barki, I'm going to paint a family picture for a friend who's got 3 children. It will take up whole weekend. Okay. Whole means पूरा. Whole weekend पूरा हफ्ता. Nadia, can't you come home in the evening? Nadia asked the question from Mrs. Barki. Can't you come home in the evening? क्या आप शाम को घर आएंगी? Mrs. Barki, no, they live right on the other side of the city, so I'm going to stay with them. Okay, she can't come back home. Here are the reading of the first lesson, Meet the Family. Now we give the answer of the question. Where are Mr. and Mrs. Burki going next weekend? So Mr. Burki going to Nepal and Mrs. Burki going to her friend home, okay, to draw a picture, to paint a picture. Now come to the part 3. Listen and write the children's age next to their names. First we look at the family tree. Here is first grandpa and grandma. On the left side Mr. Dani and Mrs. Dani, and on the right side Mrs. Burki and Mr. Burki. And there are the name of the children's Maryam, Fahad, Saira, Imran and Nadia. First we write the ages of the children. Maryam is 8 years old, Fahad is 7 years, Saira is 8 years old, Imran is 7 years and Nadia is also 8-year-olds. Now come to the next page, number 3, unit number 1, lesson 2, words, family members. Okay, come to the part 2. Look at the family tree in lesson number 1. Use the word in the box to complete the sentences. First we look at the family tree and then we fill the blanks. Here is the first example. Mrs. Barki is Mrs. Dani's sister. Mrs. Barki जो है वो Mrs. Dani की बहन है, sister है. Okay, here are the few words in the word bank. Now we complete the blanks. Number 1, Mr. Barki is Fahad's dash. Now we tell the relations in the blanks. Okay, first you look at the family tree. Mr. Barki is Fahad's dash. Mr. Barki. Look at Mr. Barki. Mr. Barki is Fahad's uncle. Okay, number 2, Mrs. Dani is Imran's dash. First you look at the family tree. Look at Mrs. Dani. Okay, Mrs. Dani is Imran's aunt. Number 3, Saira is grandma's dash. First you look at the Saira in the family tree. Saira is grandma's granddaughter. Okay, granddaughter means Nawasi. नंबर 4, मिसिस बर्की इज़ ग्रैंड पास डैश. ग्रैंड पास मिसिस बर्की जो है वो ग्रैंड पास की डॉटर है. नाउ लुक एट द पजल एग्जाम्पल. आई एम मरियम्स मदर सिस्टर, माई नेम इज़ मिसिस बर्की. जो मरियम की मदर की सिस्टर हैं उनका नेम क्या है? मिसिस बर्की. नंबर 1, आई एम इमरान्स ट्विन सिस्टर. ट्विंस मीन छोटी. आई एम इमरान्स ट्विन सिस्टर, माई नेम इज़ डैश. लुक एट द फैमिली ट्री. Nadia is Imran's twin sister. Now you write the word Nadia. Number 2, I am Fahad's sister grandfather. Look at the family tree. Fahad's sister grandfather. Okay, जो फहद के सिस्टर के ग्रैंडफादर हैं उनका नेम हमने बताना है. माई नेम इज़ ग्रैंडपा. नंबर 3, आई एम नादियाज अंकल, माई नेम इज़ डैश. नादिया के अंकल का नेम हमने बताना है. And her uncle name is Mr. Dani. Number 4, I am Mrs. Dani's sister's son. My name is Dash. Mrs. Dani की जो sister हैं उनके बेटे का नाम क्या है? इमरान. Now move to the next part. Part number 4. Read and answer the riddle. First we read the riddle and then we answer it. Riddle means paheli. As I was walking to Hanpur, I met a man with 7 sons. जब मैं खानपुर जा रहा था तो मुझे रास्ते में एक आदमी मिला जिसके 7 बेटे हैं. ईच सन हैड 7 goats. हर सन के पास 7 goats हैं. ईच goat हैड 7 kids. और हर गोट के 7 kids हैं. मैन सन्स गोट एंड किड्स. अब इस रिडल में हमारे पास बहुत से बंदे हैं. हाउ मैनी वर गोइंग टू खानपुर. नाउ वी टेल द आंसर ऑफ द रिडल डेट हाउ मैनी वर गोइंग टू खानपुर. कितने बंदे खानपुर जा रहे थे. नाउ द आंसर ऑफ द रिडल इज ओनली वन बिकॉज ही मेट with only one person. Now we guess the riddle. Now move to the next page, number 4. Unit 1, lesson number 3, sentences. Say, ask, speak and talk. Say means कुछ कहना, ask पूछना, speak बोलना and talk बात करना. Okay. Number 1, read and choose. Number 1, Mr. Bat come home at 7 o'clock. Hello everyone, he said and asked. Said and asked are two options. Now we choose said because when he come home he said, उन्होंने कहा hello everyone. Number 2, did you have a good trip. Mrs. Bat spoke, asked. Spoke and asked are two options. Now we choose the word ask because here are the question and we use asked for the question. Number 3, all the children were speaking, saying loudly at the same time. All the children were speaking बोलना loudly at the same time. Number 4, did you bring me a present from Egypt. Asked, spoke, then. Now we choose the word asked. Circle the word asked because here is the question. Number 5, was it hot in Egypt. Emma talked, asked. We choose the word asked because here is again a question. Number 6, did you see any camels. They asked. We use the word ask because here is question. Number 7, don't all say talk at once. We use the word talk. Circle the word talk. Asked, said Mrs. Bat. Let's get supper ready, said Mrs. Bat. We choose the word said. Said means कहना. Mrs. Bat ने कहा. Then you can ask, say daddy about Egypt. We use the word ask. तब आप डैडी से इजिप्ट के बारे में पूछ सकते हैं. पूछना we use asked. Now come to the next part, number 3. Write the words in the correct order in your exercise book. Here are the some sentences. You will write these sentences in your registers. Okay. Number 1, quietly was talking Nadia to her friend. First we arrange the sentence and then we write it. First you write the subject, then you write the verb, the action that was performed in the sentence, and then in the last we write object. Now the first sentence is quietly was talking Nadia to her friend, and the correct form of the sentence is Nadia was talking to her friend quietly. Number 2, told after supper a story Mrs. Burki, and the correct form of the sentence is Mrs. Burki told a story after supper. Number 3, say hello and must go. We must say hello and must go we, and the correct form of the sentence is we must go and say hello. Number 4, to whom speaking are you, and the correct form of the sentence is to whom are you speaking, and also put the question mark at the end of the sentence. Number 5, quickly my aunt very speaks. Okay, the answer is my aunt speaks very quickly. Number 6, talking sports I like about, and the answer is I like talking about sports. Number 7, again slowly, the telephone number please say, and the correct form of the sentence is please say the telephone number again slowly. The last one is say anything a question but she did not. I asked her. Okay, and the correct form is I asked her a question but she did not say anything. Now the next part is part number 4, punctuations. Write the story in your notebook using capital letters. You will in the punctuations we first capitalize the first letter, and we also put the question mark at end of the question and the full stop at the end of the answer. Okay, now you capitalize the first letters and also put question mark and full stop. Okay, now come to the page number 5, unit number 1, lesson 4, reading. Number 1, read about Sandra's Bat's family. Here we read about another family. We live in Aston. It's in the middle of England. Aston is the city of England. My mother's name is Judy and my father's name is Ed. My mother is a doctor. She works at a hospital in Aston. Her mother is a doctor and she works in a hospital. She looks after sick children. My father is a reporter. Her father is a reporter. He works for a newspaper. He writes reports for the newspaper. He travels a lot to write a reports. Okay, I'm 8. My mother Dan is 10 and my sister Emma is 6. Her age is 8 years old. Her brother age is 10 years old and her sister Emma is 6 years old. I have an e-pal in Karachi. Her name is Saira Barki. Answer the question. Question number 1. Where does Sandra's live? Okay. Now you write the answer of the first question. Where does Sandra's live? You will write the answer on your book in the front of the question. Now, the answer is in Aston, England. Okay. Number 2. What's her father's name? Her father name is Ed. Number 3. What's her father's job? Her father is reporter. Number 4. How old is Sandra's brother? Sandra's brother is 10 years old. Number 5 question. What's her mother's name? Her mother name is Judy. Number 6. What's her mother's job? Her mother is a doctor. Number 7. How old is Sandra? 8 years old. And number 8. The last question. Where does Sandra's e-pal live? Her e-pal live in Karachi. Okay. Write at least 4 sentences about your family in your notebook. Stick in a family photo. You could start like this. We live in dash. Where you live in Rawalpindi. My mother name is, you will write your mother name, also you will write your father name, and at the and I'm a dash year old, you write your age. Okay, hope you all understand the lecture. Thank you.